Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to The Walking Dead, the final season. I decided to give it up, and check The Walking Dead on Netflix. I saw it was there. I don't think either The Walking Dead TV series is completely done or all of it's on Netflix, so I fast forwarded through like the last episode of season 9, and they showed the walkers, and so I can kind of see the idea of that trying to be integrated, but I really just fast forwarded. But I couldn't recognize any of the other characters, and the Walking Dead Telltale game has always just been moderately related to the TV series in the sense that the Michonne spinoff uh, showed her as a character. Um, so if this game is going to leave us kind of a cliffhanger and just in Clementine's story, that would probably be fine. It would be nicer from my perspective, and probably only from my perspective as someone who didn't watch the TV series, didn't care about it after the first season, and they fired all the writers, and hasn't read the comic book, which I don't think the comic book probably very well integrates with either the video game or the TV series. So, as someone who's just played the Telltale games, I would like a more complete story here. I'd like them to say that winter happens and it freezes all the bodies of the zombies, and then that is the big turnaround where society manages to succeed, humans manage to succeed, and they stop struggling. Although I feel like winter has probably already happened multiple times in this world. It would have had to, unless the climate drastically changed, because Clementine was like 9 when we started this game, and she's probably closer to 18 now. So there would have been 9 winners. So it would have to be basically a almost Game of Thrones type winter that lasts forever, or a just global warming type winter that would have frozen out the rest of the last of zombies. We ended episode 3 with all of the kids trying to be rescued and the boat being blown up, and any of the kids being captured slash killed slash rescued, and Clementine gets knocked out. It would be interesting if episode 4 started like several years later and we find out that AJ has either become the leader of Delta or the leader of Whispers. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens also at the end. Also, but if it doesn't, I imagine it's just going to be more dull, slow storytelling. There is a logical flaw amongst the many logical flaws, as far as Delta's idea of kidnapping kids from a juvie juvenile detention facility, which is basically what it was, or a school for troubled youth. Um, had it just been a normal boarding school, or even a boarding school that of particularly rich kids, which I guess would be most boarding schools, it would make a lot more sense for Delta to try and kidnap the kids and try and control them, and like brainwash them into servitude. But the fact that you're actively spending effort to get children who literally would not follow instructions and may not literally be capable of following this instructions is really insane on Lily's part and Abel's part. They should have just ignored them. The story probably would have played better if throughout these 4 seasons it had just been a regular school, not even like a boarding school per se, just a school that a bunch of students were at, and then the zombie apocalypse uh, happened. The adults abandoned them, and then they managed to survive there. Oh, there is also a problem of like the 31 kids that have died, and the fact that there aren't 31 graves in the graveyard, which makes it seem like either a lot of kids ran off and got bitten by zombies, or Marlon handed over a lot more kids to Delta. I don't know which is true, but yeah, they seem to only really have started burying people until very recently. Is there anything else? It's been a while since I last played. I'm trying to think of some of the thoughts I've had before we get to previously on. I guess not. Let's hop into the game. Sorry for the long setup here.
Last time on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, we got AJ doing the previously on.
Since I can remember, Clem's always been there with me. She taught me to be careful.
See that
quiet,
that black and white image before
strong.
this one is more comic book feeling.
To always aim for the head. To kill people that try and hurt us. To show mercy sometimes. I always listen to Clem. Always. But I've been thinking more. I don't know if she's right every time.
Well, of course she isn't.
She told me to shoot her if she got bit. That doesn't feel right. We're doing a lot of bad things to save our friends, to protect our home. And when Clem told me to shoot Lily, I got mad. So mad. I don't know what I feel anymore. I don't know if Clem knows either. I remember all the rules. And the first one is never go alone.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought if this had been the theme throughout all 4 episodes that they make the final revelation. It's like, no, actually, the player who is controlling Clementine or who was controlling Lee didn't know what they were really doing. We didn't know the consequences of our actions, and we did our best, and that's as much as we could do. We're starting from where we ended, particularly bloody. I think AJ unloaded a lot. Oh, I guess we should also mention that it did seem to me like Tennessee betrayed them, and she's been slightly stabbed. I'm seeing cutscenes, but no prompts to actually move. So are we going to him, or are we telling him?
AJ, you have to trust me. On the count of 3, let go, and I'll catch you. Promise? Promise.
No prompts there. Let's see, right stick and the
1,
inside.
2,
Is it the right
3.
stick or is it the left stick? It was. I feel like it was the left stick before.
Hurry, Clem.
They were trying really hard. It'd be funny if you failed here, but there's been a lot of sequences like this where we have failed.
Now what? We need to find a way down. This ship isn't gonna stay afloat much longer.
This feels like this is setting it up where Clementine and AJ are gonna make it out, and the other group is gonna make it out and feel like you betrayed them.
Okay, we've got to jump. It's far. I know it's far, but it's the only way. You'll have to go first. You'll need a running start.
I don't know, Clem.
Let's see. I guess we can go with you can do this.
We don't have time to hesitate. We need to jump now.
You can give confidence, but
We do when we're scared.
We push through it. We don't let it take over.
No, we don't.
like, I don't see a point really to lie about whether or not you can succeed. It's more truthful to just say we have to try regardless. Run. Alright.
Get to the pier. I'll meet you there.
I could see them specifically trying to get rid of AJ and not take care of him, since he is like the strongest killer, and I imagine a pain in the butt to try to control. And in all fairness, he's too young for any of the older kids or even Tennessee to ever want to listen to. This does really go to show, had they just blown up the place, they were always going to attract a significant amount of zombies. So they really didn't have a good escape plan. They were putting a lot of their hopes on the idea of getting out of there before the bomb went off, which would have worked had Minerva not been so bad.
Where do you think you're going?
I don't know why this guy is still trying to fight me.
Wait, you're just walking out of here.
There's like nothing there. I had to get the arrow in the first place.
Fuck you!
Alright. I guess I hit him in the foot. AJ for the dick punch. Finally, we got a bow and arrow. They needed so many more of these.
Come on.
There's a lot of different controls here, because with the bow and arrow, it was like left trigger and then fire with right trigger. But now it's like pull, aim with the right stick and then pull the right trigger. That's really loud. So this would be the second Skybound episode. The intro to the last episode I could see of The Walking Dead looked very similar to this too. So I would argue though this is probably a better intro than the TV series intro has. So it is perhaps thematically trying to imply something. The problem with what it literally is showing is it just doesn't really work, because zombies don't stay still enough for plants to grow through them and potentially tie them down to the ground. We also have the hint of if we saw a Lee zombie come back, and if Lee actually did have some memories or self-control as a zombie, that would be incredibly insulting, because what you're implying is that there's been like 9 years of people running into zombies of their friends and family, and none of those other zombies have been able to control themselves or have any humanity within them. So the idea that there's some small humanity in them is really grasping at straws. We may find that everybody else is dead, and it is just maybe James and a few other people. Yeah, the fact that they cut Lewis's tongue out really goes to show.
Sorry about your tongue. But at least you're still alive.
Let's see.
You have no idea how happy I am
We
to see
may
you
do a
right
whole
now.
twist here where we start to potentially make out with Lewis, and he's now the new romantic interest. Oh, Violet's still alive. We may have lost
okay?
Omar in the scene.
Yeah. My ass is a little singed, but I'm good. Fuck. I was so afraid you.
Me too. But we're okay. We're both okay.
Both of these lines of dialogue are
Lou.
What happened to Minnie?
I don't know. I lost track after the explosion.
oh wait.
Clem!
We're looking for whoever we can keep alive. I almost wouldn't be surprised if we might want to save a couple of the adults. But they'd be a pain in the butt, frankly. They'd just never be team players, and I think letting the zombies take them is fine.
Oh, thank God.
So there's Omar in the scene. So it's just 10.
There's more walkers than I can
And
count. The explosion drew them right to us.
Stay cool. We knew this would happen. We just have to get off this beach.
let's see. We need to look for an escape route. There we go. We've got a cart.
We brought the cart around.
There's Willie and
Willie!
Come on! We're getting out of here! There's no end to these little shits! Put them down!
Shit! Clem, do something!
Alright. Yeah, see, these are still being reinforced as bad guys. Alright, well, we've eliminated Delta, with the exception of Minerva.
No! Get away from her!
I don't think you get second chances in this kind of universe. Like, so either narratively they're gonna force us to,
What the hell is she doing? She's gonna get herself killed.
either narratively we're gonna force her to, see now, I guess zombie bites in this world don't immediately infect you and kill you.
We've got to break for it, now! Everyone run for the cart. I'll stay back and cover you. I'll be right behind you. The second I see an opening, I'll make a break for it.
This is a good plan since you have the weapon. That's the burden of being empowered with weaponry. They kiss in front of
See
AJ,
you on the other side.
which you'd
Damn
think
right.
AJ would be really shocked by that.
AJ, go with them.
No, I'm staying with you.
Thanks, kiddo.
AJ is more useful than the other 4 people combined, frankly. Shoot the walkers. And this is pretty quick and easy to do. You just have to move the arrow somewhat there. She's so dead. You're not gonna survive that. So it really has become a case of mercy.
Clementine! Fuck you!
So yeah, shoot her. She's a threat to you. I'm glad, frankly, that we don't have an opportunity to save her. Your knife is missing. You're coming out of the water. Yeah, diving in the water is not the safest move. You cannot fight the herd.
Go!
Well, it's giving you a lot of prompts here. Alright, well, escape. And see, seemingly that was way too easy, but this is the beginning of an episode, so I'm not super upset about that being easy. I'm very happy to see that these Skybound episodes are easier, because I'd rather see a custom scene than I'd rather see a cutscene than actually fail the game and then have to try again. I feel like some of these zombies should just be the bodies of Delta, or this group of Delta. I feel like we're also going to find that there's still plenty of other Delta people.
James!
So it'd be funny if it wasn't James. Much like a zombie in Minecraft, you pretty much
We'll have
could
to squeeze
just
through there.
We don't know where it goes.
you could just
Well,
barricade
we
you
know
in a
there's walkers in
cave.
the other direction.
But
Move it, dummy!
I saw his eyes when he did it. I saw the bloodlust in them.
What are you talking about?
The Whisperers do seem to be a pretty nasty group.
Go.
This is going to be reminiscent of that famous Junjo Ichi Japanese horror manga where people squeeze through a
We're safe.
hole
But
in
not for
caves and are obsessed with it
Damn it.
and
It's so dark in here.
stretch themselves into
Can't move forward without a way to
monstrosities.
see.
I'll figure something out.
Here's the problem with James's like rah mentality is what's he gonna do about it? AJ may be a lusting killer. Is James gonna protect himself or the group or the zombies by killing AJ? I think I would kill James way quicker than that happened. So deal with it, James, and come back to reality is my only response. I want to talk to Tin.
Did you see Minnie out there? I didn't see her anywhere. But that doesn't mean she escaped.
I'm not gonna lie to him.
I saw her on the beach. She was bitten, 10.
So she'll go to the next place with Sophie. They can be together. That's good.
See, Tin's mentality is kind of hopeful, and I get it, but it's probably hopeful in hiding a lot of a lot of like pointless things. It's childlike hope, not realistic hope.
If they get in here, I'm going to have to kill them. I don't want to do that.
James is kind of useless, but you could put him to work. Certainly, you have him be the nurse. You have him stay back and be the gardener of the group. Here's a toy collectible.
Another one.
The idea that
Get
these
home before AJ can play with it.
it's kind of ridiculous. Let's examine this corpse. You have
Need some
cloth.
way to start a fire.
This almost feels like a real video game at this point. And it's with every action I seem to be triggering something new. Pick up crystal.
Might look nice in our room. Just have to get home first.
Wow. So they're keeping everything here really simplistic. Can we climb up there? Maybe. That's where we're going. That's probably smarter. There's a whole wood pile. Somebody was living here, obviously.
moving fast.
And that would explain the toy.
Dark to tell how far it even goes.
Let's talk to AJ before we lose our opportunity.
It's so dark in here.
I'm working on it.
It doesn't feel safe. There's too much danger outside. I wish I had a gun.
We'll be out of here soon.
She is kind of hoarding weapons at this point, in that she didn't give a knife to AJ.
No way we're swimming through that.
Alright, well. Let's look at the cave wall. So flint. This feels very Minecraft adjacent.
Perfect. Flint.
I guess the knife
Need something to wrap the cloth around
is
before I burn it.
fairly useful.
Damn it. It's all too wet to burn.
At a certain level, if you were
Okay.
in a zombie apocalypse and you were able to just live on like a raft, the zombies
There's
that
another
would have
tunnel
been
over there.
under the ocean
It's too far.
would have been too low for them to ever
We just gotta.
attack you.
Gotta
Of
find
course, you
something to
do
help
run
us
into
cross.
the risk of zombie fish and zombie sharks, and
Walkers are getting closer.
we're just not really sure of what animals potentially have the
Worry.
zombie virus in them
We'll be
and
home
are
before you know
more
it.
dangerous now than they used to be. So I guess we're not going this way.
If I yanked that out of there, it would drift down the river and get caught in the rocks. Could work as a bridge.
Oh, so that was apparently something we were trying to do. Or we could do. You're noticing a considerable
I
lack
just
of...
need to go across one by one, and then we'll move the rocks out of the way. And then I'll take.
James really dropping the ball as far as watching, and Tennessee also dropping the ball as far as watching. So we can knock him back. I don't know how fast burning a zombie really is, though. It doesn't seem like that would be a particularly fast thing. And I'm pressing forward on the left stick and it's moving me as slow as possible. These guys are gonna hit me. I have to get close enough to jump to the riverbank. Probably would have been smarter to have somebody take the flame instead of her carrying it. And see, zombies naturally just bump into each other, so it does bring an interesting idea that if you started one herd of zombies, just a few people on fire with flame arrows, they very well may just bump into each other and burn the entire group to smolders. But if that really did work, nobody's figured that out in this zombie apocalypse. Now would be kind of a great time for Tennessee to admit that his father burned him, or how he got burnt. Seeing some shadows, and I really wouldn't have been surprised if the Telltale game engine couldn't really cast shadows without it being hand animated. At one point there were news reports that the Telltale game engine literally had no physics engine, so if you wanted a ball to fall downward because of gravity, there was no just basic concept code there for that. You had to hand animate every action, which at a certain point,
All right, which way do we go?
that's fine.
Do you see a light down any
Like,
of these tunnels?
for these games that worked as well as it did.
You brought this on yourself,
Clem!
but it's not too late.
Let go!
For him, at least. Follow us and I sprain your ankle. Follow us after that, I break your leg.
I won't let you take him.
I won't let you make him a monster. Not any further.
Clem!
Shh. You're coming with me.
Let's see.
What happened to not wishing anyone harm?
It has its limits. You found it.
I'll kill you before I leave her.
You did this. You made him this way. You had him empty an entire clip into that woman's head.
It was only half a clip.
I like that response.
Is this what you wanted? A boy who only sees an answer at the end of a barrel. Look at me. And tell me this is what you wanted.
She deserved to die, and you know it.
By his hand? In that way? I've seen what rage like that can do if it remains unchecked. Believe me, you don't want to see it with him.
See, this is weird in the audio balance because he doesn't seem loud enough, and yet the music often sounds loud enough. kinda don't care.
I liked killing her. It made me feel strong. I don't care if it was murder. I don't care if it was anything. It felt good.
I mean, this is frontier justice, and if it comes at
Best
the
feeling
hand...
I've had in a long time. Maybe ever.
AJ, you talking like that? It scares me. Never think that again, and certainly never say it again.
Does it matter? You can tell he already believes it.
Stay out of this, or I swear I'll claw your fucking eyes out.
Neither of you are listening. Anyone that wants to hurt us should be dead. And
I agree.
I'm not sorry about it, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it.
I totally agree. This is the AJ I've been trying to raise.
I don't know why you're scared when you've always said for me to be like this. You always said surviving was the most important thing. Be strong, be brave. If something wants to hurt us, shoot it right in the head. Killing Lily made us safe.
It's right. Like, I'm sorry,
There's
I'm
nothing
probably
wrong.
sounding slightly like a psycho, but this is totally the character I was trying to raise. This is winning
Listen to this.
in my perspective.
You think you can change him? Do it then. Talk to him.
I'm not gonna change him.
I'm not gonna stop, Clem. I'm not gonna let people that want to hurt us just walk around. You can't tell me to stop and expect me to get it. You can't tell me to stop when you know it just confuses me.
I know this world is hard. For us, for you especially. And
We'll try to
killing,
back
it's
down.
Almost unavoidable these days. Having to do it, having to let you do it. We've learned we have to live with it. But you can't ever like it.
Yeah, the danger of what he's saying is that
I
Tennessee.
don't know if I should have said I liked it. Maybe I don't know the right words for what I felt. Aren't you glad Lily's dead? You just said she deserved it. You must be glad I killed her.
He's just looking at her. It's like, yeah, of course I am.
It's complicated.
I'm glad they didn't ask me to answer that.
Because?
Because
Because why?
Because this isn't about me.
whether or not I'm glad Lily's gone isn't the point. We're talking about you.
You are talking about me. I'm trying to talk about us. It's always been us. I don't know why you're taking that away.
I swear I'm not.
That's not where I
Had me
thought that
firing
line.
that gun, you were angry. Angrier than I've ever seen.
Try to back this down a little bit, but I don't think we needed James.
I
And
need you to hear me, AJ. You can't talk like this about killing anyone. Even Lily.
this is the sucky part of a zombie apocalypse.
It's obvious you can't teach him.
I think it would have been easier just to stab him in the throat and kill him. Alright, well,
Not listening.
see, in fights like this is dangerous.
We hear you. You just don't understand who we are.
So a
I
2-on-1,
understand you.
almost like a
I've seen
kung
your
fu
kind.
fight.
The world is full of you. I've been you. All you know is violence, death. He could live a peaceful life, but it's like you won't let him. It might seem hard to believe, AJ. I know it does, but listen to me. No one has to die anymore.
That's
Not humans, not walkers.
James,
ridiculous.
This
philosophy of yours?
This philosophy is what has kept me human. It's what will keep any of us human.
It's a childish fantasy.
It's like you read it out of a book of fairy tales, I swear to God, where everyone could live in harmony. If
We're gonna
we all
push him,
just
he's gonna
wished
set
hard
on
enough.
fire.
Open your eyes, James. The world isn't as simple as you like to make it sound.
So what is it then?
It may not be kill or be killed, but it's awful goddamn close.
But yeah, little fights like this, even being pushed down, could potentially cause ruptured organs and internal bleeding and create more zombies. You can't have this. And I just hate this part about
I'll find
dealing
my
with
own way.
people in
Next time.
zombie apocalypse.
Ask someone else.
Because it is people more than anything else with their multitude of divergent opinions that are the bigger
What is it?
danger, and their reticence to resort to violence when people don't agree with them.
He doesn't get it. Not like we do. Not like I do.
And yeah, the idea of James being in charge of the group
Let
would
me
be
help you,
insane.
Clem. Trust me to tell which people are bad. That I won't ever use my gun because I like it. But only to keep our friends safe. Please. You can trust me to decide when it's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
Totally.
Growing up too fast, AJ, and that scares me.
This is the only thing that would empower AJ, knowing
Seen
Clementine will
things and
probably die
done
pretty
things no
soon.
one your age should have to do.
Your relationship with AJ has
You've earned my
changed.
trust. If you say you won't ever enjoy killing, I believe you.
I won't. I promise.
The next part of this, certainly, though, is
Feel
going to
that?
be a question about 10.
That's the way out.
I guess maybe we'll just forget about the fact that 10 probably betrayed us. He's lost both his sisters.
He left his mask behind.
Goodbye, James. So that's probably the last we'll see of James. He did not play a good amount of a role in the story. It'd be really shocking if it turned out he played a much bigger role if I had made different decisions, but I seriously doubt that. More that they're probably introducing him as a character who would be the next character in the Walking Dead series if there ever was going to be another Telltale Walking Dead series, which almost certainly there wouldn't. I would really hate to see Skybound Games go that route. You could almost see a pacifist survival zombie game with James where he does very little fighting of zombies or killing of zombies, and then it's more just stealth gameplays. AJ seeks your approval above all else. A lot of this stuff is you've strengthened his confidence in himself.
Coast is clear.
I think AJ probably knows that 10 betrayed him.
If the shore is that way, then the school is probably that way.
There is definitely a danger, though, of having a betrayer in your midst. He'll probably betray you again.
Sim was the third.
Wow, just a whole stutter there.
The day after AJ killed Marlon. You already know Violet and I voted for you to stay. Sim was the third vote.
Wait, that means Omar voted us out? And Ruby?
Yeah.
Huh.
What made you think of that?
Sim said you knew how to survive. He could just tell the school would be safer with you there. I voted for you because I liked you. But his reason, it was better.
This is pointless.
I just thought you should know. Sim was right. We were safer.
Like, unless AJ.
We were more scared than we let on when you met us. You made that go away.
Huh. Well, I wouldn't call any of what's happened safe.
I guess not, but think of it this way. If Marlon was still in charge, we'd be taken away to wherever, or dead. Instead, we fought back, because you showed us how. We weren't safe with Marlon, even in his safe zone. We were just hiding.
I guess Tin is either trying to butter us up, or maybe he has reverted sides again. Tin's young. I can forgive him trying to betray them to be with his sister.
Violet!
Why is she not talking? Did they not pay the voice actor?
You made it. You're all alive.
That's crazy. And I imagine maybe she wouldn't have smiled so much had you not chosen to make out with her.
I couldn't believe you were really dead. I had to try and find you.
The fact that she wasn't talking at
You did
first
find
made me
me.
think that somebody had a gun on her. And it.
Did everyone else escape?
Yeah, they're okay. They took the cart and headed back to the school. We're safe, Clem. All we gotta do now is find our way home.
Any idea which way that is?
I know an old bridge near here. If we cross it, we won't be too far from the school.
This would be crazy if Violet turned out to be a traitor for Delta. But otherwise, this feels like a scene that would have probably been better as just a jump cut, considering so many other sections of the story have been jump cuts. There were scenes like this in the previous seasons of Walking Dead where people just walking and they have conversations.
I thought you might be gone for good. Oh. Shit.
See, so now we go from important conversations to romantic sleeping your way
I
to the
was trying
top
to figure out what I could
conversations
do
that I'm less interested in.
And I realized how goddamn stupid I was about Minnie. For a whole fucking year. I was so wrapped up in losing her and Sophie, I pushed away everyone who tried to care about me. Marlon, Brody, Lewis, even you and AJ. I tried my damnedest not to care about either of you. And
Some of these conversations do feel
still
like you
couldn't
should
tell you
just
why.
listen, and
I know where you're coming
they really
from.
come from a
After
male
losing
writer's
so many
perspective.
people, sometimes
where
it's easier to keep everyone
women
at arm's length.
From what I
I
hear,
wonder why
want
you
people
fight so hard to stay alive.
to listen and basically
I
not
don't
even
wonder
really
anymore.
respond much, which isn't gonna work in a video game, certainly.
Jesus, everything's so
but it
different now.
Could in some
Me, us,
points, certainly.
school.
Whereas this game
I remember how Marlon
actively
described
punishes
it,
you if you
what
don't
we're
say
gonna
anything.
Turn Erickson into. It's not the way any of us pictured it.
How did you picture it?
I'm surprised any of them want to have anything to do with
I guess
Erickson.
I couldn't. I just listened to what Marlon said. How it would be a home. A real one, but I couldn't really wrap my head around it.
Yeah. I imagine there's probably several traumatic events that have happened at Erickson before
My
even the
family lived
zombie
in a trailer.
apocalypse. Yeah. If the teachers
what
left
about
them,
you?
they clearly weren't
Where'd
very
you live?
caring. There were probably at
I
least
lived in a
one or two
house
that
with
were
my mom and
straight up
dad.
abusive.
Fence around it, big backyard.
What was your favorite part of the house?
I wish they would have shown at some point that we'll go treehouse. That's really the only part we
I had
saw.
a treehouse in the backyard.
We didn't see
I
our
used to
bedroom.
take my walkie-talkie up there and play for hours. I'd pretend it was a ship and I was the pirate captain, or it was an igloo and I was a hunter,
Yeah.
or a castle and I was a princess.
Really? Like with frilly dresses and a tiara?
Yeah, but also a sword, a warrior princess.
Yeah, obviously.
I think they
Treehouse kept me
probably
alive
should
when all this
move.
started. It's where I hid.
Either that or they're going to have to just expand their scavenging efforts further and further
You know,
outside what the safe
Erickson
zone
can
would have
still
been.
be the home Marlon promised. As soon as we get back, we'll start rebuilding. It'll be a lot of work, but you're right. It is worth it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the school and it's all burnt down.
Hell, we could even put in a treehouse.
We've already got a bell tower.
Okay, we'll build a bell tower house.
Perfect.
Unless they're going to do a time jump
After
here.
all that's happened, it's still hard to imagine.
Like,
I mean, we fought for it, defended it. It should feel more like home than ever, but it doesn't. You know what the problem is? That stupid fucking name, Erickson.
You want to rename it?
Yeah, fuck that guy. We should name it something cool. Threatening, but not like scary. Something that makes assholes go, I should stay away. But not like Blood Murder Knife House.
that's almost a Borderlands name.
What about the Rotting Shithole?
It's accurate and kind of cool, like a rock band. I'm in.
There's almost a logic to that, too, because if people overhear them,
Build our school.
if they rebuilt the place and always referenced it
You
as
will,
a
Ten.
terrible place.
We all will. We can start as soon as we get back.
This is another
Let's get
point
home to the
where
rotting shithole.
this would make a lot better sense if it wasn't a boarding school for half mentally and half behaviorally disturbed people, and if it was just a regular school that was slightly out in the woods and they had converted. I really, really wish they had shown a map about how far we had walked throughout the entirety of the game and how far we've traveled, because
Okay.
it kind of
just take your
feels
time
like
and keep moving forward.
Clementine may, over the course of 9 years, moved very, very small distances, which can't exactly be the truth because we know we went, it feels like at least one state north, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was 2 or 3 state lengths to the east or the west. I don't know what specific direction you would even want to go in a zombie apocalypse. I think the move would probably be to go closest to the coast, more fishing opportunities, instead of trying to stay in the center of the center of the United States. Probably north is a good move. Yeah,
That's far.
this would kind of suck
Really
if
far.
this is where Violet
Should be able
falls
to
or
jump
Tennessee
it.
falls.
It's not that far.
It seems like you could also probably
I
just
think we can. We just gotta be careful not to
grab-
land too hard.
grab a This would be funny if she's a zombie and yet is she alive or is she some kind of
I found you,
wow, like half dead?
my sweet little brother. Come with me.
And see, this is gonna be the echo
You're
here
dying.
where
Yes, I am. I'm finally going someplace.
this is
better.
what would it look
I want
like
you there with me.
if Clementine was selfish and wanted AJ to join.
Everyone gets to be a person again.
We're gonna go be with Mom and Dad and Sophie.
Together. It won't be real if you're not there.
10, snap out of it. She wants to kill you.
I know, but
Don't you fucking speak to him, any of you.
We honestly did not have enough crazy people.
Please, Minnie, stop.
Not enough crazy people
with
in
his
the Telltale
family. Don't
series.
do this. Don't worry, 10. She can try to stop me. But I am not going anywhere without you.
This would be the point
It'll be
where
over soon.
this is the point where Tennessee either is gonna have to grow up or he's just gonna straight die.
I'll help the boys across the gap. Watch out for the walkers.
Now that they've added this extra pressure, you don't have time to specifically. Alright, so I just gotta pull this as fast as possible. Alright, so we are trying to not hit zombies so much as hit her. So this is definitely a different kind of challenge. It's the opposite of what happened in the previous section where we used zombies as cover. Now we're the one doing the shooting.
Watch out for the walkers.
The problem here is it's not bright enough for me to really see where Minnie is, and so I'm just gonna try and shoot this general direction. And I guess we get like 3 shots, and then once they start shooting, I need to release the left trigger.
I'll help the boys across the gap. Watch out for the walkers.
This is like super difficult and not something that we've been trained to do in previous gameplay. So and they are basically doing a blood thing. I guess they're just getting close enough that I feel like I accidentally triggered something there. Yeah, I am missing a lot of things here. So
I got AJ across, but 10 won't budge. I have to stop her.
So now we have to kill it. And she was on top. I don't feel like I got that in time.
You're not his family.
You're just something in my
And they really should probably play more with the idea that these QuickTime events either don't matter sometimes, and you're just gonna fail anyways, or
I'm taking 10 home. I'm going.
and see, this may not matter because he may end up dead anyways, and so I just got injured. Toss the gun to AJ. Cover.
Tennessee, move your fucking ass now.
So are we gonna now control?
Let him go! You'll die if you don't!
Trusted AJ to make the hard calls.
Violet, please jump!
Oh my god. Oh my god, no.
That's right. Come with me.
Well, that seemed way better animated.
How could you do
I
that?
had to! You would never get to see your home again if I didn't. I did it for you.
For me. I can't. 10 is gone. That soft little boy who liked to draw, he's gone because
see.
of you.
AJ saved your life, Vi. You'd be dead if he hadn't taken that shot.
You think that's okay? Just gunning down one of our own.
I didn't want to shoot him. He was my first real friend. But he was messing up again, just like when he got Mitch killed. So I had to decide. Clem said I could, so I did.
Goodbye, Dad.
Yeah, she's gonna be upset with that, but it's not the wrong decision. And Violet may decide to kick us out.
Trap us.
I know.
See, I wonder if shooting an old transformer would explode like a electrified transformer.
Vi! Shit! I got it!
Clem, look out!
And I'm kind of glad they didn't have me control AJ and make the decision.
Back at the school. But we'll make it. Go.
Like, honestly, I started this whole season going, yeah, all the kids are just pawns. They're all going to end up dead. And
This first.
here, as we are at the end,
Clem! I got you.
like, at the end of the story, we're approaching exactly where I knew this was going to go. So there's no big surprises here. The bigger surprise would be if people straight up survived and nobody had died, even at the beginning. That was a weird climbing quick time event. Grabbing on with his hand, he's not going to be able to pull you up. Come on, hit this guy. Yeah, you're just gonna pull him over. That's unrealistic. I wouldn't be surprised if AJ has to chop off your leg. But if you survive and he chops off your leg, that's fine. I'm fairly certain that happened in one of the previous seasons. He chopped off a hand.
Leg. The military cargo pants have like built-in tourniquets in them. Not all of them, but the military style ones. So there are actual specific points where you can just straight up tourniquet a leg. Now is not the time to do it though. The tourniquet is, but being bit. But see, they're all infected, so being bit.
I got bit.
This would be funny if this is the end of the story. That would have been only an hour long. It'd also be funny if they found out that the zombies don't matter. Or the zombie bites don't matter. So what are you gonna do?
Come on. We can't stay here.
We're not gonna do anything. Just gonna use the axe.
Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving.
This would be funny if he just shoots her.
Keep
moving. Forward. Forward.
See, because this is kind of like the resolution that you're working your way up to, and then they're going to try and slow things down. Yeah. And I imagine if the zombie bite does increase your chances or increase the speed at which you turn into a zombie, chopping off a leg probably won't save you. If anything, I'd say her wound alone sets her up to die, regardless of being bit or otherwise. Well, that was an hour. I bet there's maybe an hour to an hour and a half left. I wouldn't even be surprised if there's 2 hours left. But at a certain level, I don't think we're going to have too many more decisions. This is just going to be the culmination of our decisions through the previous 3 episodes, which honestly, it doesn't even feel like we were given that many decisions anyways. Yeah, I don't think there's much to say, so let's just end this recording here. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.